guys, welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video, I'm going to be filming my reading wrap-up for August. I ended up reading 5 books for this past month, which has actually been the average for me these past couple of months, but that's just because I've been busy with uni work, so hopefully once I finish uni at the end of next month, my reading will pick up considerably. But on the whole, I didn't have that bad of a month. I enjoyed everything that I've read, so I'm just going to get straight into it. And the first book that I read in August was The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. This is a science fiction science fiction novel, and this is basically the story about Nemesis, who is a Diabolic, and basically they're kind of like bodyguards for like this senator's children, because like this world takes place like in a galactic empire, and yeah, there's like a senate, and it's like very, I guess you'd probably call it like it's like quite religious, and it's like basically any kind of science learning is forbidden. And one day like the person that she's like being designed to protect is actually summoned to the galactic court because her father's like upset the emperor, and it's decided that instead of like the person under her protection's going, she's going to take her place instead. So and then you've also got the because like at this point in the novel, Diabolics have been outlawed, and she's technically not even like meant to be still active, so she's also got that at a danger, like if, you know, people found out she was a Diabolic, and yeah, it just sort of goes from there. And on the whole, I actually quite enjoy this, because I think initially this was meant to be a standalone, but when I got to the end, I was sort of like, I'm actually glad that the author's going to be doing at least another novel in the series. I don't know if it's just going to be a duology or if she's making it like a trilogy, so I would be curious to continue on with this series just to see where it goes based on the ending, because I sort of realised that I actually wanted more from this world, so, but I ended up giving The Diabolic 4 out of 5 stars, so that's that. And then the next book that I read, I was randomly in the mood to read this, so, and that is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. I don't think I really need to explain what this is about, but I just sort of was in the mood to read something that was, you know, like quite quick, and yeah, I was just sort of feeling very, I don't know if nostalgic's the right word for it, since I never actually read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory until I was like in high school, so I don't have quite the childhood connection to this, but I still wanted to sort of go back and revisit it. And yeah, it was, you know, obviously it's very short and sort of get through it in like one, well, I think I read it in a couple of sittings, but it, I still enjoyed sort of revisiting this, since it, as I said, it's been a while since I've read it. And yeah, so I'm sort of in the mood to read more actually Roald Dahl books. I know I want to read, I think it's Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. I think that's the sequel to this. Since I don't think I actually finished that one when I started it, but yeah, there's just sort of, I'm in the mood to sort of go back and actually either read, like reread some of his books, or read them for the first time, since, as I said, never read Roald Dahl as a child. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, so that's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then I continued on with my read of The Mortal Instruments, which I'm slowly but surely getting there, and this month I finished City of Lost Souls, which is of course book 5. I've been really enjoying making my way through the series, and I'm definitely looking forward to continuing on with the, you know, the Shadowhunter world, and eventually, you know, get caught up with where everyone else is up to, but obviously I can't go into too much detail with the plot for this one because it is book 5, but I will say I don't think, even though I have been like quite enjoying these latter books in the series, because I do know it was initially just meant to be a trilogy, but I still think City of Glass is my favourite like current book, so like what I've read out of the like the Mortal Instruments. But yeah, I still enjoy this, and yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how she's going to wrap up like this, at least the Mortal Instruments side of the Shadowhunter world, because I have been reading this in connection with the Infernal Devices, so I won't be reading City of Heavenly Fire until I read Clockwork Princess. So, but I don't have Clockwork, well actually I don't have either book in this, like the last book in the series, because well, I have been reading the Infernal Devices series from the library, and I've just been getting these as I've read them, so hopefully I will manage to get a copy of each soon, because I would actually really like to try and finish both series by the end of the year, just so it's, you know, another series that I've finished. And yeah, so but yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how this finishes, especially given how this one ended. I was sort of yeah, not expecting the ending, and I was kind of like, and it was sort of at that point where, I mean, I sort of, you know, like in regards to who, like the, I guess the main couple in this, with what happens at the end, but I sort of realized didn't like how much I was actually shipping them until, you know, got to the end of this one, and I was like, and then yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that it does resolve, because I don't know, because obviously I haven't, I've been trying to not spoil myself, but I'm kind of hoping there's at least a happy ending for those two, so because yeah, they're probably my favourite ship in this series, and I'm like oh, he's hoping. But anyway, that's City of Lost Souls, which I don't know if I've said when I rated it, but I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars as well. And then the last 2 books that I've read are part of the same series. Well, I didn't read them like one after the other, but I've been alternating between them, and just because they're part of this ginormous complete collection series of the Chronicles of Narnia. And basically this month, because I've started reading the series for the first time last month, and so this month I continued on with the Horse and His Boy and Prince Caspian. I'm going to put this down because this is quite heavy. So basically I'm reading the series in chronological order, which is basically how this series is published. I know a lot of people prefer to read it in publication order, but I've been making my way through it chronologically just because I like reading things in chronological order. But yeah, I enjoyed both stories. I think I probably enjoyed The Horse and His Boy a bit more, even though I did sort of find, because I think I found The Horse and His Boy a bit interesting just because I was already familiar with the character Arvis, I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce her name, but she was a character in a roleplay group that I used to take part in. Like, it was a multi-fandom roleplay that you've probably heard me talk about quite a few times, since that's sort of my introduction to a lot of different fandoms. And yeah, she was a character in like in this group, and so reading her like source material was actually quite fascinating. And yeah, I actually really liked the story, and even though I will say it was actually a lot darker than what I thought it would be. And I know, like, there's as like I've sort of read that there's, yeah, obviously there's issues with how like race is portrayed, and like obviously what it's meant to represent. And yeah, so yeah, I don't think it's entirely, you know, obviously politically correct, but since, what, this is, when was this published? It was like the 1950s, wasn't it? but yeah, but that aside, I did still quite enjoy the story, and I gave both The Horse and His Boy and Prince Caspian 4 out of 5 stars. And yeah, I mean, I liked Prince Caspian, but I think, you know, if it was a follow-up from, I don't know if I'd read Prince Caspian first, as obviously you were meant to in the, like, the publication order, I may have enjoyed that story a bit more, but I think, I actually preferred reading about when, you know, like, you know, Peter, Edmund, Susan and Lucy are like kings and queens of Narnia. I think I prefer reading about their time as actually being Narnian royalty, and yeah, so I think the whole aspect of, you know, them going back hundreds of years after their rule, and I mean, some of the politics is quite intriguing, but yeah, I think out of what I've read next to The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy is like my second favourite of the series. So, but I will say that reading like the Narnia, like the books, is making me want to go back and revisit the movies, because have previously seen, you know, like the movie adaptations that were released like 10, 12 years ago. So probably once I read Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I will go and do like a mini Narnia movie marathon. So, but yeah, I've definitely been enjoying making my way through this series, and I can't believe it's taken me so long to actually sit down and properly read Narnia. Yeah, I think if I'd read this as a child, I would have really, like, loved it. Like, I think this would have been among my favourite series, but I think I'm pretty sure I only ever read Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and this was like back in probably 94, 95, but yeah, I've definitely been enjoying making my way through this, as I said, and yeah, can't wait to read the last 2 books in this series, so, which will hopefully be next month if I continue on with my, like, the progress I've been making. So, but yeah, I think that's essentially everything I wanted to talk about, because, as I said, I've only read 5 books, and I do want to try and keep these wrap-ups as short as possible, which, you know, if you know me, you'll know that's a bit of a issue I have with keeping videos short, but I'm hoping to one day get better at that. So, but yeah, that is it, and I'm going to stop it here. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!